Welcome to Module 3. Here we are going to go over the intricacies of writing an application. Here are some of the things we're going to go over. Writing a grant application is an art that requires attention to detail and a structured approach. A helpful way to look at proposal writing is in two stages, one being the research and preparation stage, and two being the writing stage. Let's start with stage 1. Preparation is key to writing a successful grant application. It involves gathering relevant information, understanding your project goals, outlining your proposal, and allocating sufficient time for drafting and revisions. Understanding the purpose of your project and how it aligns with the funder's mission is the first and most important step in writing your proposal. When you have a clear and concise understanding of what your needs are, it becomes easier to identify relevant funding opportunities and makes writing the application far smoother. Now, let's go over some key preparation steps. Read and follow the grant application guidelines meticulously. Guidelines are there to support you through the application and can sometimes drop hints about what they're looking for and what they're not looking for. Read these carefully. This will be your guiding force when crafting your application. Gather necessary data and supporting documents well in advance. This is a tedious part of applications. By gathering all supporting documents well in advance, it will give you more time to perfect your proposal. Create an outline or structure for your proposal. Before you start the writing stage, make sure you look over all of the application questions and get a full picture of the story you're trying to tell. Having structure to your writing will make it easier to communicate an accurate and powerful message. Lastly, set personal deadlines for each section of the application. By doing this, you give yourself enough time for thorough proofreading and editing, and will reduce your stress levels when the application deadline approaches. Each funder has unique guidelines and criteria for evaluating grant applications. It's crucial to thoroughly understand these requirements and tailor your application accordingly. Research the funder's priorities, eligibility criteria, and any specific formats or documents that they require. The next stage is the actual writing of the proposal. Your application should tell a compelling story about the problem you aim to solve and how your project is the solution. Proposal writing is the ability to communicate your project's needs in the funder's language, ensuring they can relate to the goals and objectives of your project. An important tip to remember is sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. When writing an application, remember the acronym PICKLE. Point it out. Make it obvious for the funder. When answering questions on the application, don't be afraid to break it down into point form or numbered items. By doing this, it makes it easier for the funder to identify direct answers to the questions and makes it easier for them to check those boxes when scoring a proposal. Impact. Funders want to know that projects will have a positive impact on the community. Don't be shy. Make the impact big. You may think your project only affects a small group of people, but think outside the box and you may find your impact is much, much bigger than you originally thought. Consultation. Funders are increasingly requiring consultation and involvement from people impacted by the project to be involved with applications. Taking a nothing about us without us approach will help make sure accurate and relevant projects are brought forward. Making sure to involve statements, testimonies, evidence, feedback, and input directly from the people impacted by the project is key. Keep it simple. We can communicate a lot without actually saying a lot. Evaluators sometimes have hundreds of applications to read, so making sure the project and objectives are very clearly communicated in a concise way is important. Just because the word count is there does not mean you have to max it out. Language. Use the language the funder does. Read through the application and the guidelines before writing your proposal and highlight keywords. You can use these words or synonyms for these words throughout your proposal. For example, if the guidelines say projects must improve the quality of life, be sure to weave how the project improves the quality of life for people and give concrete examples. Elaborate. Make it powerful. Elaborate on your points and emphasize on the impact. For example, instead of saying, "This project supports seniors to be more active," you can say, This project will improve the quality of life for seniors by empowering them to lead healthy lives and create an environment for learning, support, and growth. Now that we've covered the 2 stages of proposal writing, let's go over some of the helpful tips. Use clear, concise language and avoid jargon. Don't assume. Never assume the funder has any knowledge around your organization, projects, programs, or services. Make sure that someone who has no knowledge about your project will have a clear understanding after reading your proposal. Provide evidence and data to support your claims. Engage a colleague or mentor for feedback on your application. Review and revise multiple times and refine your application. These tips will help make the proposal writing process a little bit easier. Keeping things clear, providing concrete evidence, and consistently seeking feedback are all steps to help strengthen your application. This module has covered the basics of grant writing, from understanding the application process to honing your skills and meeting the funder's requirements. Remember, crafting a compelling grant application is a continuous learning process. Keep refining your approach and learning from each application you submit. You have reached the end of Module 3. We'll see you next time in Module 4, all about talking with funders.